Now that is interesting and has some real potential to change a lot of things for the better, in my opinion. So, YouTube is being sued because its ad-free premium experience is not, of course, actually ad-free. Because sometimes, when you're enjoying a YouTube video on some random subject, some chucklefuck such as myself will go, This is the world's best water bottle. Buy it for $40. I'm lying, of course. This is a piece of shit water bottle because, well, barely any water comes out of it. I've tried sucking on it, I've tried tilting it, I've tried doing pretty much anything I can. There's barely a trickle that comes out. And I've bitten off the tip of it. This is after I've dug out most of the insides of the tip to at least get a drizzle out. And still, basically nothing. In other words, this is a shitty water bottle, but hey, I just unscrew the top and drink that way anyway, so that is neither here nor there. But it is actually relevant because, of course, if you pay for a premium ad-free subscription and you pay $15.99, which is theft, by the way, make no mistake, and I wish it wasn't. Listen, from a YouTuber perspective, I fucking love YouTube Premium because a portion of that money is put into a pot that is then distributed to all of the YouTubers that you watch with Premium on. And your view with Premium on is worth so much more than a regular view. It is insane. The difference is absolutely huge. So I would love it if literally everybody watched with YouTube Premium, but YouTube seems quite insistent on making the offering as fucking worthless as humanly possible. Actual, absolute, unequivocal garbage, which offers what, like some music you could download already far easier and with significantly less inconvenience and monetary expense. Other places, no thank you very much. And as for the ad-free experience, use a fucking browser, God help me. But okay, the contention of the argument, as we shall return to now, is that, of course, if you're paying $15.99 for an ad-free experience, and then, as you're watching a video from Theo Fon podcast, there's a Pepsi promotion in the middle of it. Damn, Pepsi gives out fucking YouTuber sponsorships? Good job. Or in a Kevin James interview, Callum Chris true crime video being sidetracked by a Surfshark VPN sponsorship, and a gameplay video from Markiplier that switches to a NordVPN promo. And we've all seen it. Hell, I've done a few myself. God, I get like, what, 2-3 sponsorship offers in my email every goddamn day? The push, the quantity of this shit is actually insane. I ignore 99% of it because, well, it's far more bother than it's worth, frankly. And, okay, here's the thing as well, right? YouTubers are supposed to be you. It's supposed to be normal people. At least that was the gist to begin with, and it no longer is. We were supposed to simply be just an extension of the audience. And so when I tell you that this is the best water bottle in the world, you're supposed to believe me. Even if it's a piece of shit. And therein lies the problem. If we grow accustomed to the people we're supposed to trust lying to us, then what is the difference between YouTube and any other form of corporate media, frankly? When you look at one of your YouTubers holding up a thing and going, this is great, why the fuck should you trust him over some news anchor or a random advertisement you see on the television that promises you that if you drink this sports drink, you will sprout fucking wings and fly off into the sky? What is the difference? Well, there isn't really any, and that is, in my opinion, a fucking huge problem. So, listen. I would like to take YouTube back to the days pre its corporatization. And hey, this channel right here is supported overwhelmingly by literally just you guys, by super chat donations, by premium subscriptions, by memberships. That's what keeps me in business. That's about about 75-80% of my income, I think, with the rest being ad views, which matter for practically nothing in the grand scheme of things. You are the people that I owe honesty towards, nobody else. And far too many YouTubers have grown to be, well, aiming at sponsorships first and foremost as a way to make this a viable business, advertising themselves to corporations rather than to people. That means that in the case of Theo here, he's not owned by you, he's owned by Pepsi. Calmectris is not owned by you, he's owned by Surfshark. Markiplier is not owned by you, he's owned by NordVPN. And this means they are no longer you, they are no longer part of the us, they are now simply just corporate channels, television on the internet. And I thoroughly do believe that we have lost a lot by seeing the rise of the corporate YouTuber. Both in terms of trust, in terms of community, and perhaps more crucially as well, in terms of how YouTube approaches all of this. Because once upon a time, YouTube was indeed a far more level platform, intended to simply be a place where anyone can find whatever entertainment they so desire. But as the company grew greater and greater, it became defined more and more by actual corporations, perhaps exemplified by the fact that PewDiePie was made to be the second largest YouTuber by T-Series, a Indian corporation. And today I believe the largest YouTuber is Mr. Beast, who is a corporate TV production company in all but name. Hell, even that is in essence the name and the brand of it. It's no longer YouTube, it's corporate television for all intents and purposes. And now, will this get anywhere? Because I'm going to go off on a tangent about this, as you've already seen. It won't. Almost certainly this won't go anywhere, because here's the thing. YouTube does already have a little section going like, oh, the YouTubers might still add in some branding here and there, because you see, we're just a platform. We have no control over what the YouTubers post. And that will literally be the defense. In fact, I remember a legal case quite some years ago. I don't remember the exact nature of it, but in one paragraph, YouTube explained they couldn't possibly be sued for anything that happened on the platform because they were just that, a platform. They had no responsibility at all. Then in the next paragraph of their own legal defense, they said that they could kick anyone they wanted off their platform whenever because they had editorial power to do so, making them a publisher. The exact same thing will happen right here, where some boomer judge will be given a case and YouTube will tell them that they are both a platform and a publisher in the same fucking breath. And the guy in question who's suing them, which I do believe is, yes, there we go, a class action lawsuit, can argue himself bloody and blue in the face that, listen, they promise ad-free experience, they're not delivering it, and YouTube will simply say, well, we can't be responsible for the YouTubers. And the moment he goes like, well, but they're working for you, or your platform, you pay them, they simply go, oh, but we aren't actually connected to them, we have nothing to do with that, we are publishers publishing ads on other people's videos, and nothing will happen. I would be astonished if this even made it to a hearing, much so less an actual court case. Not to mention the fact that this class action lawsuit, of course, is probably just going to end in a settlement, as this is probably just a bid for some money. A bunch of people go to YouTube thinking, well, it's a big company, they've probably got some cash to spare, they probably literally got a fucking slush account for spurious lawsuits, and they're just going to settle out a cost for a few $100,000. Dunzo. That's it. As especially as well, you're going to have a hard time really proving loss with all of this beyond your YouTube subscription, I guess. But yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. But it should go somewhere. See, the idea of sponsorship, on the one hand, I have nothing particularly morally against sponsorship. I've taken them in the past as well, might do so in the future if I think it's funny or I can do something interesting out of it. But by and large, I do think the damage is done to the platform is significant. But if you put yourself in a position where somebody takes it and others don't, well, you're just kind of screwed. As is the exemplified thing with the view-botting trend at the moment, for example, where most of the big streamers already view-bot their streams to fucking high heaven, thereby making it appear as if they're far more successful, thereby getting access to the sponsorships, thereby getting them access to a larger platform and audience, because now they look more official and they get pushed by the actual platforms themselves. It is a vicious spiral that is unfortunately rather difficult to actually break at any point. But, and again, I don't even know if legislation is the answer to it. It probably isn't. Perhaps a more grassroots response and general dislike of advertisement would be a better way of dealing with it, but simultaneously that would require moral condemnation, and again, I don't actually see anything wrong with it as a single act. What I dislike with it is when it becomes the primary source of income, when it becomes what you run your channel for, when the primary purpose of continuing to upload videos is not to entertain the audience, but to earn advertiser money. Frankly, this entire thing is me just having a little bit of a rant about it, as this is one of those things that I don't like, but I don't really have any good solutions to it either, nor do I even have a particularly strong condemnation of the action in and of itself. But I would love to see perhaps some sort of regulatory framework surrounding it, because, well, you're not actually supposed to lie on the television, and maybe instituting those rules over on YouTube might be a good idea as well, binding them by the same regulations, as I'm assuming they're not already. Or at least I've never seen any legal guidelines indicating anything like that, or maybe something along the line, well, not a broadcasting license like in Germany, but rules that enforce somewhat similar standards on things like selling products would probably be wise. And some attempts to bring the product a little bit closer to the people pushing it as well. I don't know, it's all just highfalutin nonsense at this particular point in time, as, again, nothing's gonna happen of this. Culture's probably not gonna change on this, as it's become widely acceptable to simply do advertisement as an understood way of keeping channels growing and, well, solvent. So this is just me having a little bit of a rant to the sky. This is old man yells at clouds, quite literally, but still, I would like it. I would like it if maybe YouTube Premium would have to guarantee an ad-free experience so that you could not run YouTube Premium on videos that have adverts in them, or maybe that they flag your channel. If you've got frequent ads, you don't get a cut of the YouTube Premium or advert pie, for example. That could be kind of interesting, as I would like YouTube Premium to be worth something, and maybe if its only argument for getting it at the moment, being ad-free, is taken away from YouTube, maybe they'll go in search of other ways to make it more appealing. Yeah, alright. They'll double the price and simply offer less. But hey, a man can dream, can't he? Anyways, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on sponsorships and adverts in YouTube videos, and on the YouTube Premium thing as well, and how you feel about it, how it comes across, whether or not you use it yourself, or if you simply just use a goddamn ad blocker, which YouTube is also trying to murder, incidentally, which, God, again, it would be so much better if they would simply make a superior alternative to ad blocker. Listen, the Pirate Bay was basically murdered by streaming and easy access to entertainment. You could do the same, and everyone would benefit, and the only thing you'd have to do was make something worth selling. Again, I know I'm being fantastically blue-eyed and naive here, but listen, old man yells at cloud. Until next time, I have been Arch, who's going to have a nap now as he's clearly growing too cranky and old for all of this. Have a good day.